to tell us that and we're good and that, and we're doing a good job anymore. It's all us.
No disrespect.
No disrespect.
Well, he
I get what he's saying, though.
He said, forget everybody.
Yes, that was his word.
Right, exactly what it is. It is interesting with that run game, and Dan made a good point. This is not the same run game.
Correct.
In the way it is, because at that time, the Bills were not effective running the football. I mean, why would you continue to go to it? Now, you needed to. You needed to find ways to do it, and I do believe, Jenna, it's had an impact on the entire team because they've had more success. They've played more physically. And I'll be honest with you, I think it's even transitioned a little bit over to the defense, too. I think they've played a little more physical brand. Plus, we're also into the playoffs, too, where everything changes.
Everything gets ramped up.
This team that played so well in Kansas City is a different team. And I could say they're a better team than they were even when they beat the Chiefs in October.
I completely agree, because I think you also have needed to see kind of that change of pace from Devin Singletary, from the run game, just to go to another option if maybe Josh isn't having his best game. Now, that Patriots game, Josh was lights out. We know Allen has been impressive in this win streak for the Bills, as has the run game. But you just talk about what this team means. There's also, though, the matchup that we're going to talk about after the break in terms of the head coaching matchup. But before we get there, you've heard us talk so much about the Buffalo Plus YouTube channel. Some of you are watching us on there right now as we speak, and we just want to make it easy for you all. If you just check out the QR code that's going to pop up on your screen, you can scan it. You can take it right to the Buffalo Plus channel. We have plenty more information as the Bills take on the Chiefs once again this season. So just scan that code right there, and it'll take you right to Buffalo Plus's YouTube page. And coming up, it's Sean McDermott against Andy Reid, the guy who hired him, fired him, and now they're matching up once again. We'll have their interesting dessert breakdown, too, of what it means for the Super Bowl coming up after the break.
Yeah. Well,
hello.
Are we there or no?
Yes, we are.
Oh,
okay.
Hello.
On the Buffalo Plus channel
Welcome.
on YouTube. Yeah, I know we had a few technical glitches. We apologize for that. While we have you on here, we're also going to be on. Jenna and I are going to be in Kansas City and with Dan here Saturday night, 7 o'clock from the stadium in Kansas City at Arrowhead.
Probably very
so
full
be
of
ready
barbecue.
for that the night before the game.
Yeah.
We'll be in KC.
We're looking forward to that. We have that coming up. Just a quick note to Rusty. Let's put the injury report at the end after the Greg Connors bite. So just a little
inside
baseball stuff.
Look
Rusty, let me know if you heard that. Okay, cool. Yeah, so we're excited. We know the show's going to be a big deal. Obviously, we're excited to go back to Kansas City. I feel like we talked so much about this Bills team having that familiarity and how important that is. But, Dan, I mean, I think it just says a lot about the mindset, knowing where you're going, what it feels like, how that crowd's going to be, what that means.
And that's a part of it. I also think just the fact of the Chiefs, I don't know how much there is of being able to get up again in the postseason after going three straight times.
That's interesting.
Now, on the flip side, I would also be a little worrisome of the Bills off the emotional win. Can you get back up again after just embarrassing the Patriots?
Well, we can talk about that a little bit more, but I do think it helps. You're going from a home game where they're all with you, and we're going to talk more about this, to a road game where they're all against you.
Yes.
And we know, Bills Mafia will travel, but it's going to be a home game for the Chiefs.
Definitely. All right, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back with the start of the show. All right, welcome back to Buffalo Plus Live. So many matchups to talk about in this one. Patrick Mahomes versus Josh Allen, all the offensive weapons on both sides of the ball, the defense. But then there's the head coaching matchup. Andy Reid, Sean McDermott. Now, both guys, Sean McDermott, obviously, Mike, was hired under Andy Reid. Why don't you talk a little bit about that?
He was an intern. I mean, Sean McDermott's a Philly kid, and here's Andy Reid with the Eagles. And there are pictures. You just take a quick look, and you'll see him on YouTube. You'll see him anywhere where it's, Sean McDermott looking like he was, looking like he was 12 years old, standing by. And he worked with Andy. And Andy, who was a new coach, helped him build up. He eventually became defensive coordinator. And then Andy Reid fired him.
And then Sean McDermott found his way to Carolina.
And Andy Reid, who still had a lot of faith in him, helped him get to Carolina. He got that team to the Super Bowl as defensive coordinator. and then he gets this head coaching job in Buffalo. And they've played against each other, coached against each other. And look, Andy's got the resume. He's got the Super Bowl. He's been there.
Yeah.
He's been with, 3 other times that he's been to the Super Bowl. Sean doesn't have that. But as current coaches, I think they're on equal footing.
Yeah, 2-2 against one another in terms of the matchups there. This was fantastic, too. Andy Reid was asked if winning a Super Bowl makes him hungrier to win another. Here is what Andy Reid had to say this week.
Yeah, well, if you like chocolate cake and you eat a piece and then you have one dangled in front of your face, you're probably going to want to eat that, too. Not much is going to stop you. So, I mean, that's how you feel about the Super Bowl. I mean, that's that is the chocolate cake with the ultimate frosting, and then you need you're going to try to go get it if you can. That's the best you can.
He's now number 1 on your list, isn't he?
Andy Reid is my dude. I love the food references.
He's all about the food references because earlier this season, too, he talks about how the team was coming together like a great prime rib dinner. And then he obviously talks about that when he won the Super Bowl, he was going to go and have a big double cheeseburger.
Yeah.
So the big J journalist that I am, I wanted to ask Sean McDermott for his response to his mentor's food analogy.
I was wondering what your food analogy would be to winning a Super Bowl.
I'll just focus on winning this week. Let's just keep it 1 week at a time. But just, I mean, on a lighter moment, I guess, I'd appreciate a big chocolate milkshake. How about that?
I appreciate it, Sean. Thanks.
Yeah, you got it.
Okay.
Big J journalism right there for you.
Now, he says, I appreciate it. Big chocolate milkshakes a year.
1.
2, maybe?
It's a monthly thing. Like he dedicates like
Oh,
Wow.
month? You
I
got
don't think it's
12?
that many.
Yeah,
maybe
no
maybe
way.
it's seasonal.
No, it's like hey, it's the 17th. I get to
By the
have
way,
my milkshake.
This is why I said last week, Sean McDermott's a lot like Bill Belichick, even though he worked with Andy.
Yeah.
And in other ways, he is nothing like Andy. But Andy's chocolate cake and
But I got Sean to
cheeseburgers.
smile.
You did.
You did.
Got him to smile.
Congratulations.
You did. On a lighter note,
Look at
I
that.
didn't even think he was going to answer that question. So maybe
When he smiled when I told him about Andy and cake, I think he knew where this was going.
Yeah, he probably did. All right, the Bills getting ready for the Chiefs. Obviously, the Chiefs practicing this week. We know all the weapons. I mean, there's Patrick Mahomes. There he is right there. Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce right next to Mahomes. I mean, you talk about the run game as well. Tyreek Hill. Mike, I mean, this team, we know they didn't have the best start to the season, but they're putting all the pieces together. And you know they can just flip that switch. We've seen them do this in the playoffs before.
Yeah, I mean, even look back to a year ago. They did not play well in that Kansas City-Cleveland game. And the Browns had a chance to beat them. And Mahomes got hurt. Remember the big thing last year was Mahomes with the foot and the toe, and how would he be? And then he came back to play. And then they played really well in the championship game. Got off to a bit of a rough start, and then they handled the Bills. And that's the part where you look at a quarterback and a team that has been there and they have done it before. We talked to a Kansas City reporter, Haley Lewis. She's been on with us before. The entire interview is on the Buffalo Plus YouTube channel. And I asked Haley about these two franchises now meeting for the 4th time in 2 years and again in the playoffs. If it is the Chiefs' biggest rivalry, here's what she had to say.
I don't think because there's that longevity of fan base that they're going to buy into calling it quite a rival yet. But this is the new biggest threat, I think, in the AFC for the Chiefs. And I think that's very at the front of their minds going into this. You know, it always used to be Tom Brady and dealing with the Pats and having to get through them to get to a Super Bowl. And now it's this really annoying bug up in Buffalo that just won't get out of the way.
The annoying bug in Buffalo.
Bug. Yeah. It's a big bug, Josh Allen.
Yeah, he's an athletic
I mean,
bug.
look, I think it's evolving into Patriots-Colts.
I was going to say.
Who weren't in the same division and seemed to play every year. And what all the Bills players told us. When they won, they knew they were having this team again.
Yeah.
I thought that was the best. Jordan Poyer said that when they beat them earlier in the year, if we wanted to get to the Super Bowl, we were probably going to have to go through them. And he goes, and look, here we are.
Yeah, I mean, they know it was coming down the line, especially the talent level on both teams. All right, coming up, it's Catalana's mic drop. What took the Super Bowl Bills 5 years to do, and how it applies to this year's Buffalo team. We'll have the mic drop coming up after the break. Hello, and welcome. And please be sure to weigh in on our Twitter page. Dan Fates and I got into an argument about toast being a snack at night.
It's not.
It's a snack you can eat all the time.
They go ahead and comment if they want.
No, it's all right.
No.
We're here to talk Bills.
First of all, there's very little that Jenna wouldn't consider a snack at any point.
True.
Yeah.
Very true.
Like, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like,
I mean, clearly everyone agrees with me.
anyway, to some comments on point here that we're talking about. Paul Dimitropoulos, avid follower of Buffalo Plus, says McDermott's going to bring his milkshake out onto the field
That would be something.
and then gives it to Andy.
Wow.
They share a milkshake. They share a milkshake. Dilly Dale says all about third down defense and red zone defense. That's the bottom line. And
Yeah.
I think that's the key that we've been talking about, is because we've talked so much about the offense, so much about the quarterbacks, Mahomes, Allen, bigger arm, all of the weapons. I do believe this game comes down to a defense.
And Dan's point there, red zone, when you're talking about the comment on that, is it's the difference between 7 and 3.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely. That's
with
huge.
the offenses on the field, man, you keep holding them to 3 or take the ball away, massive difference.
Well, you
in
say
this
take
game.
the ball away, turnovers too. I mean,
Yeah.
it's huge. Ball security is huge in every game, but this game, it really comes down to every detail just that gets that much more important, and that's something you can't overlook.
And I think in terms of the Bills' offense, they have to think the same way.
Yeah.
They got to think scoring. Look, when you beating the Patriots, a couple of touchdowns, you had them down, and they weren't coming back.
Well, that's like the Jets. You could almost field goal the Jets and the Falcons to death.
Yeah.
You are going to need to score touchdowns.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
I think as competitors that we all are, we love home games. We love being in front of Bills Mafia. But at this point, wherever we go, Bills Mafia follows us. So that's number one. Number two, it's kind of cool playing in front of a away crowd just because, you're in enemy territory. You got your boys with you who you've been with all year facing adversity. And it's another challenge. So it's kind of cool playing home and away. But like I said, Bills Mafia travels anyway. So they're going to be loud.
Yeah, we know Bills fans will be there, but we know it's going to be a very tough, loud environment, hostile environment at Arrowhead Stadium.
Yeah, look at what the Bills have done in the playoffs. Is they've been really good at home.
Yeah.
And they haven't been able to come through on the road. It's been 5 years for Micah Hyde and Jordan Poyer and a few other players that were part of Josh Allen's first group. First, it was Tyrod Taylor who took them to Jacksonville, and then Josh Allen took over. And from that time on, they played 2 other playoff games on the road, including last year in Kansas City. And then it makes me think back to the Super Bowl years. I do that often. And I realize it was a process for that group to figure out how to win on the road in the playoffs. It took Jim Kelly and company actually 6 years before they won on the road. They started with losses at Cincy and Cleveland, then earned that home field advantage. Heck, they made the Super Bowl. I'm not counting a Super Bowl game as a road game. That's a neutral site. It was finally in 1993. It was a battle-tested Bills team that went into Pittsburgh and beat the Steelers, then went to Miami and won in the AFC Championship on the road. But this Bills team feels like they have enough battle scars to get over that hump. You heard Micah. As a competitor, you need to embrace the challenge. Their 2 road playoff games, things got away from them. They did not play the way they're capable. Sunday, they get the franchise's chance for a first road win since '93. And that Bills team went to a Super Bowl. And it is different.
Yeah.
They can say whatever they want. When you're at home, it's a comfort level and an energy that you always have. And Dan, that was my point about it getting away from them. We saw it in Houston.
Yeah.
We saw it last year in Kansas City. When it goes bad on the road, it can go really bad.
I still remember how loud Houston was in 2019. Like, broke the camera loud.
Yeah.
Like, it was that. And this is where we talk about it. Like, you're talking about the legacy of those Super Bowl teams. Like, that's crazy to think that, yeah, you knew they were good and they had some home games in the playoffs, obviously. But I didn't think it took that long for that good of a team and a dynasty to win on the road.
Yeah, well, they had
in the playoffs.
Yeah.
It was nice in the middle when they had the home games.
Yeah.
But I remember it was after the Houston comeback game that they had to go to Pittsburgh. Frank Reich, the quarterback, and they won.
Yeah.
Went to Miami, and the Dolphins were like, we got them now. And Jim Kelly
Man.
came back, and they blew him out and went to another Super
Real quick,
Bowl.
is this a legacy game for Josh Allen? I think we kind of kicked that around. I'm just saying, I know he's still young. I know this team is, but we always talk about that Super Bowl window. You don't get all this time.
Yep.
Yeah, no, it's true.
And the window keeps getting, it doesn't keep getting open more, it keeps closing more. And like Josh Allen against Mahomes, I think this is kind of a big game for his legacy.
It doesn't mean it won't happen again.
Agreed.
Yeah.
And it will. But, boy, once you get one, and he
it's
gets it against
hard to get that
Mahomes,
first one.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's the thing.
Yeah, especially going up against the Chiefs once again.
Yep.
Yeah, we know Bills fans are excited to go to this game. We also know that our great sponsor has talked so much about this game. Here are Greg Connor's thoughts on what he expects from Sunday night's matchup.
And for me, the outcome of the game really is, can this Bills defense stop Mahomes and that high-powered offense? We got to get 3 stops on them. Because, again, there's usually 8-7 possessions per game. So can we limit them to under 35 points? So my pick's going to be the Bills 38 and the Chiefs 35.
All right, he has a Bills win. Hey, let's check this out as well.
You forgot all the names
Yeah,
on the
yeah.
injury
most of them.
report.
This is sponsored by UR Medicine Sports Medicine. Not a lot of names on that list. Just one, Mario Addison. That is wild.
And he's full. Or
Yeah.
he was limited today, which was another good sign, but that
Yeah.
he's trending towards playing so that
Yeah.
every single person.
That's incredible.
That's incredible.
It's just Trey White that's out. I mean, he's out for the year.
Yeah.
And they've known that. But to be this healthy with the rest of the roster is great.
I mean, it's wild to see that. But I mean, obviously it's been a long road for the season, but to have one guy, it looks like Mario Addison, like you mentioned, Dan, had limited practice, but he's trending in the right direction. Probably someone we'll see on Sunday. All right, talking about Sunday, we know Bills fans will be there, whether they're in Kansas City or rooting on in Western New York. Coming up, our picks and predictions for Sunday night's game. We'll have it coming up on Buffalo Plus.
All right, real quickly here, Devin Rivera talking on the Buffalo Plus YouTube channel. His question is, guys, what is the chance that both coordinators stay? We talked about that on the Buffalo Plus podcast. It's up. You can listen to it there. 0. I'll give you 0%, Devin. Hate to break it to you.
I don't think it's 0. I don't think it's 0, but it
say
should be.
15.
Because both of these guys deserve their opportunities. But you look around the league, a lot of people are getting interviewed.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah.
But Leslie Frazier deserves a second chance. Brian Dable deserves
But doesn't
first.
Dable take the play sheet from the New England game, and he's just like, here you
Drops
go.
it, there you go.
He's like, all right, guys, have a good
Tell you
one.
who should want that is the Miami Dolphins. And you don't want Dable in Miami,
No.
Bills fans.
Yeah.
But
Seen him
you
twice a
wouldn't be
year.
able to root for him.
All right. We'll be right back after the break. Welcome back to Buffalo Plus Live. We'll get into our picks and predictions for Sunday's game against the Chiefs. But first, we're going to start with you, Dan, because people want to make some money.
And I've been back to back to back to back to back winning weeks. 5 winning weeks in a row.
Like the Bills.
Yeah. So it's been, the Bills and I have been on a winning streak with our best bets. This week, Titans -6 versus the Bengals. I was impressed by Joe Burrow, and I like the Cincinnati Bengals. I think the whole world's going to be riding the Bengals, getting almost a touchdown. Look, Mike Vrabel, 8-0 against the spread and straight up with at least 9 days off. Never lost.
Wow.
He got the bye. That was huge for them. Derrick Henry back. I just think the whole world's going to be on the Bengals. I'll take the Titans.
All right,
Wow.
you're going for the Titans.
Yeah.
We'll have to see. All right, in terms of this game, what do you expect for Bills Chiefs?
Well, I think the Titans are going to meet the Bills in the AFC Championship game in Nashville. Look, we can talk all about the quarterbacks, and yes, Josh Allen has to play at a high level, but I don't think he'll have any problem against a Chiefs defense that I just think is too overrated. Look, they got torched by Joe Burrow. They got lit up by Justin Herbert. I think Josh Allen will do the same to them. It's going to come down to the defense. I think the Bills get more stops. That's the name of this game. Getting stops, forcing punts. The Bills haven't punted in 3 out of the last 4 games. I think they get enough points. Wild one. Weird score, 31-29.
All right, I also have the Bills winning this game. I think this one's going to be a track meet, essentially. Look, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes. It's the matchup we've all wanted to see, and we get to see it again on Sunday. But I think the difference, and like Dan mentioned, it's going to be the defense. I just have more confidence in this Bills defense, the way they've been playing as of late, just the way they've been able to come together, especially after Trey White's injury. I have the Bills winning this one 38-31. I think it's the game we all expect and want to see, and I think the Bills are able to make a big stop down the stretch, and that's the difference.
I think it's the Sean McDermott revenge tour, right? Because he got the Patriots when he needed it, and now he needs the Chiefs. Yes, he beat them earlier this year, but this is the one that matters. High-scoring game. I think the better offense wins. And right now, I think the Bills have a better offense than the Chiefs, certainly more consistent in what we've seen so far. I like the Bills to win it 33-27 and get back to the AFC title game.
All right, we're all expecting an
Defense
AFC
wins championships, right? Like, we have talked so much about Josh Allen and this Bills offense. Even we're overlooking, I think, at times how good this Bills defense is and how high they're playing of a caliber.
I think they want to prove that again on Sunday as well. All right, well, we'll have to wait and see in this game. And we will be in Kansas City on Saturday as well as Sunday.
Saturday into Sunday. Saturday night, live on the Buffalo Plus YouTube channel at 7 o'clock. We'll give you the latest from KC, and we'll tell you all about Jenna getting barbecue in Kansas City. She's been talking about it nonstop.
Send in your recommendations,
so we'll
please.
be ready for that.
We have plenty of food. What was the food place you were saying?
Slaps. We went to Slaps Barbecue.
Slaps Barbecue. That might be on the list. We'll have plenty of spots to check out. As always, we always appreciate everyone watching. For your post-game coverage on Sunday, be sure to check out the Buffalo Plus YouTube channel. As always, we'll have plenty of post-game interviews as well as our comments and analysis from this game. For Dan and Mike, I am Jenna Cottrell. Thank you so much for watching Buffalo Plus Live, presented by Connors and Ferris. We're going to put up the QR code to scan to take you right to the Buffalo Plus YouTube channel. You can check out all of our content there. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great night from Buffalo Plus.